Hi friends, so today I will be teaching you how to make a mixed media layout using beautiful craft supplies from Mudra Crafts Stamps. This is an Indian company by my friend Varshitha, and they have beautiful range of stamps, and they recently introduced their chipboards, which I am showing right now in my video. The designs are superb and the quality is amazing. So let's get started with a layout. So this layout is going to be a mixed media layout, and I'm trying to make a dark steampunk layout instead of a regular shabby chic. The first thing which you're going to do is cover the paper with some gesso, just some part of the paper where you want to do your mixed media stuff. And after that, take the stencils by Mudra Stamps, and then by using a modeling paste, I'm using the one by Prima, apply on the screen, apply on the paper. Once you have applied the modeling paste, just set it dry, and then after that we are going to start coloring the sheet. The stencil which I'm using is very versatile. So after your paste is dry, let's go ahead and paint it. I'm using this impasto paint called Jade, and using that upon my modeling paste where there is a texture, I'm going to color it. So you can see the stencil effect showing up once I start coloring my sheet. So I want the center to be the focal point, so that is why I'm coloring everything around it. And after that I'm going to take some silver paint. It's called Raven Black, and again this one is by Prima. It is from their range called Sparks. And I'm going to cover my entire paper at random places such that I can blend both the colors together. The point of time you're blending all the colors, make sure that you add some water on it. The water would let the colors mix into each other naturally, and then after you have added the color, after you have added the water, just shake your paper and try to make some natural water lines. This gives a very beautiful mixed media effect, and the colors are very well blended. So now, once your color is blended, we are going to apply some stamps. So right now I'm going to use a foiling technique using some gilding flakes by Novo. So just take one of the stamps, and this is again by Mudra. I'm going to apply some glue using a glue pen, and this is again by Novo. All the links will be in the description box below. And after that I'm gonna apply it on my paper. Once this is applied, it leaves a very sticky surface exactly as a shape of the stamp which I'm using. And now on top of it I'm gonna apply these gilding flakes. They give a very pretty effect, and I'm absolutely in love with this. I saw it in one of the videos by Nadia. She's one of the Prima design team members, and I absolutely fell in love with the technique, and I ordered myself everything related to gilding flakes via Blitsy. And once this is done, you just take your brush and you just take off the excess part where the glue is not there, and you will see automatically the shape which you try to stamp is taking place. It is an absolute delight to see how you can apply gold foiling to your paper with absolutely no effort. The next step which I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some more stamps, and this time these are flourishes stamp again by Mudra. So flourish stamps would give a lot of definition to your project. It adds depth, and definitely they are very nice for mixed media projects because they don't have a very symmetrical shape. They just go, and it's like when you combine it with bunch of flowers, they go very well along. And I just love adding flowers to my projects. Probably there's not even a single project in which I have not used flowers. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the stamps at random places, and right after when we have applied our stamps, we are going to select some of the chipboards which we are going to use in our project. So these chipboards are of very high quality, and they are again by Mudra, and they have the best quality. Like, the quality is really good. And what you're going to do is you're going to apply some versafine water ink and then emboss each one of these pieces. Embossing chipboards has always been my trick, and I love the effect once the chipboards are embossed. They are more defined and they look prettier on the layouts. So I'm gonna go ahead and emboss all the chipboards and be back right after a while once all of them are embossed. So my chipboard is now heat embossed and it looks absolutely beautiful. I went ahead and embossed some more chipboards, which I think I'm gonna add to my project. After this, you're gonna take one felt ink pen or maybe a black ink pen, and just to give it more defined, beautiful look, I'm gonna make an outline around whatever I want my focal point to be. This is one of the techniques which I have seen some of the mixed media artists going for, and I absolutely love the effect. It gives very nice de-stressed effect once you have the edges done with the help of pen. I think I saw this in one of the Jayaz Raghuvanshi's videos and I absolutely love it. Now it's the main time when we start assembling our embellishments. So I generally layer my embellishments, and layering them would basically require me to add more and more foam and giving them as much dimension as possible. So this is a very beautiful image which I found somewhere on the Pinterest, and I'm gonna be using that. And as you can see in the behind of my image, I've added some cardboard. This was a wasted cardboard and I've added it specifically because it will give a raised effect. And now I'm going to add some lace which was there in my stash. Oh, one more thing, I added some gauze behind my picture. That gives a very nice effect. So make sure you add gauges to your projects. Okay, so the next step which we are going to do is add some embellishments like flowers and twines. So this twine, as far as I remember, is from a store in India called Paper Shears, and I was one of the design team members, and it is a very nice quality twine. And after that, I'm gonna start layering up my absolutely beautiful chipboards. They all have been embossed and they look gorgeous. These are some of the Prima flowers which I will be using in this project, and surprisingly this project has just 2 Prima flowers instead of hundreds, and not hundreds but probably in one project I generally end up using 5 to 6 Prima flowers. So comparatively this one has a little less Prima flowers, but I felt that these two, they go really well along with the project. Now as you can see in the video that I am layering up all my flowers, and once I layer my flowers I always make sure that I give dimensions to my flowers. So I just take a thick piece of chipboard and I try to create it, because if I'll use that much amount of foam it's gonna be really expensive. So I just take scraps of chipboard and I stack them together and add it to my flowers and other embellishments, and that automatically gives a lot of 3D effect. So another thing which I do with all my projects is, basically this is one of the tricks which I've not seen lately anywhere, but I usually do it, is traditional spray painting. So I just take some old toothbrush and I just sprinkle paint into it, and using an old toothbrush I would just sprinkle the entire paper with black gesso and white gesso. So you'll see me over here using a white gesso, and before that I was using a black gesso. So this gives a very nice mixed media and effect, and it looks super gorgeous once you have it like this. So on the background you can see a different image because I'm going to layer my another image on top of it and I didn't want it to get dirty. So now I'll start sticking up all my embellishments, and glue gun works best for sticking your embellishments because hot glue would just make sure that all your embellishments are in place very quickly and they last long. I mean, it's not like hot glue would basically make your embellishments fall off later. It's really good. So one should go forward with hot glue when they are creating. So you can see me that I'm trying to adjust the embellishments such that they look very nice and natural. I try to give very natural look to my layouts rather than giving it a very symmetric look. And I'm using some Mudra chipboards, and these are some beautiful leaves which I got as my design team package, and I'm adding it to my layout. It looks absolutely beautiful, and the effect which you see on the chipboard, which is there, it's basically black and orange. So what I have done is that I have added some orange de-stress powder, and on top of it I've added some black heat embossing. So that is giving it basically that part is giving it a very nice fall effect. And don't forget to add some laces to your project. They are a really good addition. And I always say that with mixed media you can never go wrong. Use all your supplies as much as possible. Whatever you have, use it as much as possible. And yes, I ended up using 4 flowers instead of 2, which I initially decided I'm gonna do. So once you have added all your flowers, make sure that you add some leaves and layer it as much as possible. So you'll see me, as you can see me doing on the screen, that I'm layering it with as many leaves as possible, and I'm trying to add as many elements as possible into my project, because the more layered your project is, the prettier it is going to look. uh, Everybody has a different taste. I like layering my projects a lot, and I've been learning it from different mixed media artists here on YouTube as well as on Facebook. And I've kind of, so I used to struggle, like, what I used to layer, like what items should I use to layer my projects up with. But with time I realized that there are so many things. Like, I mean, you can see me that I have used some ferns which are basically right beside the gray flower below the dress of the girl. So that is just a dry flower which I bought from market, from Michael's, on sale, like for $1. It was a huge bunch, and I almost use it in each one of my projects. So keep on looking for such items. They don't have to be always packed in nice packets, and they don't have to be always by some scrapbooking company labeling that yes, you can use this for mixed media. Mixed media inspiration is everywhere. Like, even on streets you can find items which you can use. When I was in India, I mean, in India the roads are not that clean, so on streets I used to find those nut bolts, and I used to use them for my mixed media projects. And this is what makes mixed media so special, that you can actually make the best out of your waste. So here you will see me that I'm adding some foam. So this is basically again one of the foams which I bought at the floral department, and it was a dry flower which you use to, it was basically a filler, like a filler branch which you use to make decorate your house with. So I'm just adding those. I'm adding some more laces on my project. And in the end, don't forget to add sentiment. You'll see me in a while that I'm adding sentiment, because I'm doing voiceover, so definitely I don't remember like at which point I added which embellishment. But yeah, here you are seeing me that I'm struggling with the fact that how should I layer everything up such that it looks nice and well defined. So I feel that my project is almost completed now, and I think in the end I'm gonna just add a sentiment which says beautiful right on top of the flowers. And the quality is so good of these chipboards, and they're so thin and delicate at the same point. It gives a very nice feminine touch. So I just added a chipboard and my layout is ready. So as you can see here, I added the picture, and this layout looks absolutely gorgeous. Please do share your love and leave me a comment or your suggestions. I love to hear from you guys, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.